Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 80k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. Also drop a like, only takes 1 second and makes a massive difference. Also, I will just say, if for some reason you're subscribed to this channel and you're not subscribed to my main channel, which I know is actually a couple of y'all, go ahead and go subscribe to my main channel. I'm trying to hit 200k over there by the end of the year. But this video is hot takes, you know it. Let's get into it. The Valanciunas trade was always the right move and has benefited the Grizzlies more than the Pelicans. I don't know that I'd say it's benefited it more. I will say, even though Valanciunas had that 7-3 night and this year he's shooting like 50% from three, it is on like 2 attempts a game, which is very little. So it's not as though he's some great three-point shooter, and overall he's still primarily a post and interior player. So, you know, I don't know how that's going to work with Zion. I don't know why people are acting like he's some fucking phenomenal stretch five. But that said, I think it's benefited both teams pretty much equally. Though, because Valanciunas has played so well, people are acting as though the Grizzlies made some huge mistake. I promise you that move was good for their future because, as I've alluded to a couple of times now, I didn't really appreciate this in the moment of the trade. I was definitely very pro the Pelicans won this one at the time. Valanciunas was like what do you call those wheels that you put on a bike? The training wheels. Valanciunas was like training wheels for the Grizzlies. He allowed them to stay upright, but you kind of have to take them off at some point to actually reach your potential. And the Grizzlies have shown what they're capable of, at least offensively, without Valanciunas. So, I mean, that's a big reason why Ja broke out. It's a big reason why they're shooting as many threes as they are, why their pace is so much higher. They're just better off without him in the long term. And the Grizzlies got a good, or not the Grizzlies, the Pelicans got a good player back, so it doesn't have to be treated like one player or one team lost and the other didn't. I think it's a pretty even-sided move here. The Pacers should trade Turner and run Sabonis at center. I think he would be better at center than power forward. This is only if they want to retool instead of rebuild. I will say, yeah, Sabonis at center is just a better look, even though Miles Turner, because he is a stretch big, at least in theory, he has hit his threes this year, but in general, he's actually been not that amazing at them. Because of that, it's negated the fact that he's a power forward a bit, but in general, I think get a real wing out there at the 4, and then Sabonis at the 5 is just better overall, at least offensively, of course. The Mavericks have been run awfully ever since Luka was drafted, and as someone accustomed to major success all his life before the NBA, he may not put up with this bullshit for much longer. Well, he is on a 5-year max contract extension after this following season because he's still on his last year of his rookie deal. So I don't know that you can necessarily say that there's not much leverage he has to actually change things. That said, I do understand. I don't know that I'd say the Mavericks have been run awful, but they haven't been run very well. They have not done more than just get by, and you want more than that when you have a superstar talent like Luka. So yes, but at the same time, we're talking about like a 22-year-old. So the timetable, the timeline, there's still plenty of time to figure things out, and I wouldn't hit the panic button yet. The only reason I was saying before you might need to hit the panic button is because Luka hadn't signed his contract yet. Now that he signed that 5-year max, you have some more security. That said, don't let that security bleed into complacency. Draymond Green is a top 5 defensive player of all time. He anchored the defense of the greatest regular season team of all time, and he could guard 1 through 5 in his prime. I don't know why you're saying that like he's not still in his prime. He's not at his peak, but he's still in his prime. Yeah, Draymond is a top 5 defensive player of all time. I'm going to get shit for that take, but it's true, so I don't care. Can't see the dislikes anymore, fuckers. DeMar DeRozan is currently playing like a top 10, maybe even top 7 player. This is a case where it's like, yes, technically speaking, if we're ranking the 10 best seasons that players are having in the NBA right now, odds are DeMar DeRozan is on that list towards the bottom. That said, and that's also in part because there's so many superstars struggling. That said, we all know he isn't actually top 10. So yes, he has been playing like a top 10 player, but he isn't a top 10 player. It's kind of like how Stephen Curry in 2016 was playing like the best player in the world, but we all knew the best player in the world was LeBron James. There's a similar thing where, you know, the situation is, sure, the performance is there, but we actually know who the real better players are. but DeMar DeRozan is playing amazing, and the fact that he's potentially creeping himself into like a top 20 conversation when he has been outside of that conversation for a decent chunk of time now. Pretty fucking positive sign. Billy Donovan is going to win Coach of the Year again. Honestly, he is definitely towards the top of that conversation. Right now, it's probably Steve Kerr, Monty Williams, and then Billy Donovan. Right now, I would give the award to Monty Williams, but Billy Donovan is not far behind, and I've been really fucking pleased with his coaching. I'm one to nitpick about coaching quite a bit, especially with my own team, but he's done a fucking great job, and I have very little to complain about. The Bucks should trade Lopez, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jordan Nwora for Miles Turner and TJ McConnell. Turner only suffers rebounding, so having Giannis will make him go over the top, and the Bucks will three-peat with the prime big three and great role players all around. Well, I will say, even though Miles does have rebounding struggles, so does Brook Lopez, so at the end of the day, that balances itself out. And Miles Turner, in many ways, is just a better version of Brook Lopez. He can protect the paint like Brook Lopez does, but he's also way better at stepping up on the perimeter. More versatile offensively, I'd say about a similar caliber of three-point shooter. And then he's younger, so if you're looking in the long term of things, Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are both roughly 30 years old. Fuck. My alarm for something went off. Don't worry about it. They're roughly 30 years old, but I think Brook Lopez is easily the one who's going to decline the quickest. So if you could actually make that move, I mean, Dante DiVincenzo is really good, and Jordan Nwora, I think, has potential. I feel like that might be a little bit too much, but if you could give up Lopez and just Dante or just Jordan, or maybe just like a bunch of second round picks, I don't think they have first that they can trade. Either way, I would love Miles in Milwaukee, but I feel like they're going to be better offers, and what this is feels like a bit of an overpay to me, just because Dante DiVincenzo is really good. So I'm very anti-Brook Lopez, though, so I'd love to see it. Peak Jimmy Butler is better than peak Carmelo Anthony. You know, this is one of those takes that will piss off some people, but it's true. And I'm not even going to bother arguing. It's just true. I'm going to take... obviously, Carmelo Anthony is a way more skilled and versatile scorer, but Jimmy gets to the free throw line a ton, and he's a great playmaker. So I'd say overall, the offense is not that far off from peak Melo. In terms of just overall package, scoring one-on-one wise, obviously Melo takes the cake by far there. Shooting wise, definitely takes the cake by far there. But overall production, I'd say offensively, there's not a huge gap there. And then Jimmy Butler is a fantastic defensive player, and Carmelo Anthony was not. Jimmy Butler is a fantastic leader. Carmelo Anthony was not. So yeah, I'm taking Jimmy Butler for sure. Russ is not the issue with the Lakers, and he has actually been good. It is Anthony Davis who has been underperforming and should have more blame. I'm not going to elaborate too much on this take because that's kind of a big part of the video that I am releasing today. I will just say that I hate that the Lakers had like their best game of the season right before I'm releasing a huge video on why they suck. So fucking great timing that is. But yeah, I'm releasing a video about an hour after this one goes up called Everything Wrong with the Lakers. And among that list, Russell Westbrook, very little mention. Anthony Davis, he needs more shit than he's been getting. The Lakers played their best game yesterday, and AD still struggled. So I'm getting kind of tired of his shit and tired of his place in the league being unquestioned and being treated as like a top 5 player when he has not done anything to prove he's that caliber of guy outside of the good nights that he has. But you can't treat the good nights that he has as the overall product. The overall product of Anthony Davis is not that guy. Let's just put it that way. You do not put Thor in your videos enough. You need him as a co-host. Thor is a fucking demon, and he terrorizes everything. Every time I try to record with him in the room, I have tried it like 3 different times now. He'll sit up here and be cute for like 30 seconds, and then he'll knock over the camera or knock over a light. It's just not worth it. I wish I could. Hopefully when he's older and he's not so much of a fucking brat, it'll be more doable. He's doubled in weight since I last got him, so he only has more capacity to knock shit over. Until then, though, you will not be seeing him outside of photos and videos on Twitter. So go follow me over there for photos and videos of a very cute but asshole German Shepherd. But yeah, that is it. Goodbye.